scenarios for Sunday.
And the Lakers just want to continue to focus on what they can control, which is to win this game tonight and win the game on Sunday. And if that means fourth, it means fourth. But you don't want to put yourself in a position where you lose complete control by not taking care of business tonight.
If the Lakers win both their games, as that one is thrown up and in by O'Neal, they can fall no further than fourth, which means they will host the first round of the playoffs, which is huge. And of course, you can get tickets for those when they do go on sale at Lakers Ticket Exchange. On the outside, Smith now to Kleber. Kleber from the corner. Jake was honing in on that rebound, couldn't get it. By the way, Kobe Buffkin was waived today, so they've opened up a spot in the roster. And they're trying to get into playoff mode, at least for the first time without AR and Luka. By the way, fast break points, 9-0 Lakers, but on the up, free tacos with a drink purchase from Jack in the Box the day after the game, which is tomorrow.
Definitely going to tune into the Masters at some point this weekend for sure.
A lot of folks do that. You're going to watch any tournament of the year, that's it. Spinning around out of trouble is Smith Jr., who's found his way back into the rotation after being buried at the end of the bench like forever. Here's Marcus into the game, and he launches one. So after about 8 games on the bench, Marcus Smart, that foot is finally healed up. The bounce underneath and wide open to dunk it after a little bit of a spin is Vando.
And Marcus, before going out, he not only had he been shooting the basketball well, but he'd been making plays for his teammates, like the drop off.
Now off to Gillespie. By the way, it was 9 games that Smart missed. He's back. Gillespie, a little pump fake. 2-1. They're not going to get a shot away. They're just not going to do it. And they play on with the Lakers 3-on-2. Smart is the middleman. Now he'll reorganize and give it to LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron has already played 9 minutes.
Good defensive possession, though, by the Lakers. I was going to say they're building it now, seeing if they can get to a shot that they like.
Well, obviously, the rotation. Junior James and Smart on the floor for Phoenix. O'Neal, Allen, Iguodala, Gillespie, and Mark Williams. That one was right off the rim. He blew the layup. And then they had another opportunity underneath that they botched, so it's going to be taken by the purple and gold that are wearing their black uniforms tonight, trimmed in purple and gold. Here is LeBron. Now to the outside, Marcus is playing a 2-man game, keep away. LeBron backing in with 3 to shoot. Marcus for 3, rebound Grayson Allen.
And the Lakers again got to an action that allowed them to get LeBron with Gillespie in the middle of the floor. LeBron has the second guy come over, sprays it out to Marcus. Shot didn't go in, but great shot created.
Fish, here's another second chance opportunity. Underneath, kind of it goes. What a play.
In terms of offensive rebounds, and that's how they're chipping away at this lead.
Fish, I got bad news for you. Lakers are out of fouls.
That is bad news.
Out of fouls, and we're just under the 9-minute mark. Probably bad news for all of us if it's going to take some of the wind out of the sails of this game. You never like to have stoppage after stoppage. We'll see how the Lakers play, though, defensively without fouling if they can do it. Here's Smith Jr. in the corner. Tusion. We'll see if that had something to do with him leaving the game as he was hobbling off.
That's why Joe Biden was frustrated.
Yeah. Underneath, laid up and missed. And rebound's going to be taken by LeBron. They're going to have a 5-on-4 power play coming the other way. LeBron right back to Rui. Open, 3, left side, right hand. Not going to get there. It's tapped out and taken by Gillespie. Lakers had a lead of 16 at one point here in the first half, and it's down to only 4. And Gillespie on its way.
Sometimes on a back-to-back.
As they get another way too easy on the offensive glass.
Yeah, sometimes on the back-to-back, Billy, as you see there, the offensive rebounds, the second chance points. But the Lakers starting out strong, like that energy is there right away to start. And then as the game goes on, like you played last night, and that fatigue and endurance and stamina does start to weigh on you. Right. So your margin for error is smaller. You have to execute better. You have to communicate better on the defensive end.
And with that in mind, they did what they needed to do, jump out early. But now, as you said, they are just
clear too. So I am forgetful. But the Lakers, as you see Luke Kennard there with the knockdown, the offensive rebounding and the second chance points have really flipped this game around.
In a big-time way. 19 second chance points to 2. That is not a mispronunciation or a misprint. Brooks! Tell you what, he always plays with a ton of emotion. Totally different dude off the court. We'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. It's interesting. Draymond Green is very similar. Like, these guys are good human beings. They're dads. Like, they have little girls and kids.
One tonight, as we mentioned. So Denver, if they win against San Antonio, they will lock up. Have to win 2 in a row to ensure themselves a home court advantage in round number 1. A lot has to do with Houston also.
And, you know, health is the most important priority in these situations, but you also tip the scale in your favor when you can play at home to start and have some confidence and some rhythm before you get out there on the road.
And LeBron underneath where he can do damage, and that was a really fine outlet pass.
Yeah, the Lakers do a great job of their eyes going up in transition and making their teammates better. The Suns came right back.
Yeah, took it out of the net, Fish. Took it out of the net and came back and laid it up and in.
Luka's in the lineup. AR's in the lineup. They like to make that advance pass.
Luke's going to find himself wide open just inside the free throw line, about a 13-footer.
Yeah,
good. By the way, he had 4 steals last night, which tied a career high. So, again, both ends of the floor. Brooks with 8 all over him, and another offensive rebound. They already have 19 second chance points. It's about to be 21 right there on the lay-in by Dylan Brooks.
And again, his offensive game, like he's ultra aggressive. He looks to score the ball much more than he did in Memphis and Houston.
He had 19 of his 28 in their last game against Dallas. A game they were way up and then held on at the end. Underneath, they had a man with a popcorn machine for your Lakers. Lock in your seats right now at Lakers.com/ticket exchange. Final game of the regular season right here on Sunday at 5:30 against Utah. More on Luke Kennard and Michael.
Yeah, so the games since Reeves and Doncic out, right? More point guard or on the ball play for Kennard. 28 assists to 4 turnovers, and that's the biggest reason why. He said he thinks it's basketball IQ. You know, Fish, he really just understands the game. He knows angles, he knows when to attack and when not to. And you even saw that on that last play, right? Going down, getting Mark Williams to bite in the fake. He's just a smart, heady basketball player.
Well, I know Big Gang gonna be upset with me for talking good about a Duke basketball player, but Luke Kennard is a very well-rounded player. And oftentimes,
On cue, I was thinking that one rattled in and out, heartbreak.
yeah, like most of these players in the league are asked to play a role. It reminds me of Luke Walsh and Trevor Ariza, guys that like were capable of doing much more than they were allowed to do, but played the role that was best for the team.
Yeah, he's well over 100 threes this year. I think he's going to fall just short of being the number 2 man three-point shooting to Austin Reeves. Luka, of course, is number 1 all the way with the shot clock winding down. They tap it, and it's going to be controlled by the Lakers. Still more offensive rebounds for Phoenix and total rebounds for the Lakers. 3.5 to play. Remember, we're sending it to the studio in El Segundo at halftime for highlights, analysis, and the news from around the league. Again, every team in action tonight. Some wild races, especially in the East for the play-in tournament. That one's going to come up just short. Oh, and the Lakers now do get an offensive rebound. Tapped by Kennard. Almost went in and then tapped in by Ayton.
Yeah, just